and welcome back to Clean Hands, Clear Future, the podcast where we scrub into the world of infection prevention and control. I'm Sarah, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-hosts David and Becca. How are you both today?
Doing great, Sarah, and looking forward to diving into today's topic as it's a big one.
I'm really good, thank you, Sarah. I'm excited we're stepping into the world of antimicrobial resistance, specifically ESBL producing organisms today, a topic that's as complex as it is critical in IPC.
Absolutely. So let's jump in. ESBL, Extended Spectrum Beta-Lactamases. Bit of a mouthful. David, do you want to give us the basics?
Certainly. ESBLs are enzymes produced by certain bacteria, most commonly Escherichia or what's another pronunciation?
Escherichia.
E. coli, will stay from now on, and Klebsiella pneumoniae that can break down a wide range of beta-lactam antibiotics like penicillins and cephalosporins being ciprofloxacin, for example, essentially making them ineffective.
And just to clarify, this isn't a mutation we can always see coming. These enzymes are encoded by genes. They're often carried on plasmids, which can easily be transferred between bacteria. So it's not just one strain we're talking about, it's a trait that can spread across species.
So it's less about one specific bacterium and more about a shared weapon bacteria are using.
Exactly, and that's what makes them such a threat. And while ESBL producing organisms are often found in healthcare settings, they're increasingly being seen in the community as well.
So like many resistant mechanisms, overuse and misuse of antibiotics are the main drivers. Over time, selective pressure from frequent antibiotic exposure encourages bacteria to evolve or acquire mechanisms to survive.
So it's a bit like natural selection on steroids, is that right?
Essentially, and hospitals have become a breeding ground for resistance due to the high volume of antibiotics and vulnerable patients. But we're also seeing cases in people who've never been hospitalised, most likely from food sources and or international travel.
Also, let's not forget the role of poor sanitation and environmental contamination in spreading resistant organisms.
So, from an IPC perspective, what are the key challenges that ESBL presents?
Well, the main one is transmission. ESBL producing bacteria are often found in the gut and can be spread via the fecal-oral route, which makes you want to gag when you think about it, particularly through poor hand hygiene or inadequate environmental cleaning, which ties nicely into your previous podcast.
Another challenge is identifying carriers. Not all patients of ESBL infection show symptoms right away. Some are colonised and don't even know it yet, which increases the risk of silent transmission in wards.
So proper screening and contact precautions are critical.
Absolutely. Isolation where appropriate, cohorting patients and meticulous cleaning protocols. But equally, we can't isolate everyone with ESBL. That's where the risk assessments come in.
Treating ESBL infections is tough. Many first-line antibiotics just don't work, so clinicians often turn to carbapenems, but that's not necessarily sustainable.
Yeah, because resistance to carbapenems is rising too, isn't it?
They are. We're starting to see carbapenemase producing organisms, or CPOs, which are an even bigger problem. And we did touch upon multi-drug resistant organisms in a previous podcast. So we're kind of stuck between needing effective treatment and not wanting to overuse our last line drugs.
And this is where antimicrobial stewardship becomes essential. Prescribing the right drug at the right dose for the right duration, and also importantly stopping it when it's no longer needed.
So let's talk practicalities. What PPE should be used when caring for a patient with ESBL?
So gloves and apron are the basic requirement for any contact with the patient or their environment. Hand hygiene before and after PPE is non-negotiable.
And depending on the setting, like ICU or a high dependency area, we might consider more stringent measures such as gowns or cohorting staff. But once again, it comes down to risk assessment.
And is there a concern of PPE fatigue or complacency among staff?
Definitely. And that's why our education and regular refresher training are key. It's not about doing more, it's about doing the right things, but consistently.
Well, the future will need to focus on better diagnostics, rapid tests, essentially to detect ESBL colonisation early.
And also better surveillance systems to track trends in resistance and inform IPC strategies.
Are there any promising treatments on the horizon, please?
There's some newer beta-lactam, beta-lactamase inhibitor combinations which are showing promise, but again, we need to be careful not to overuse them. They are not a silver bullet.
And ultimately, IPC remains the frontline defence. Good hygiene, effective PPE use, antimicrobial stewardship and strong education. The basics matter more than ever.
Well, thank you, you two. Another great discussion on a difficult but crucial topic. ESBL may be tough, but as we've said many times, prevention is powerful.
Absolutely, knowledge is key, and as we often try and remind everyone, IPC is everyone's responsibility.
I couldn't agree more. And remember, clean hands really do mean a clear future.
So thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe, share, leave us a review if you're enjoying the series, and we'll be back next week with another episode of Clean Hands, Clear Future. Stay safe and stay clean.